Alright, brah. Bear with me while I stumble through some shit. And for all these things, I'm going to be sticking into one box. I'll leave it up to you to figure out where the boxes move around the fretboard. I'm still figuring that shit out myself. But it's all based on knowing your minor and your major scales as templates. So I'll be using B minor and B major. So the minor. And then B major. Because all the scales are based off of those. And then so we'll go through all the modes. You got your standard major. We all know that. And then Dorian. So the acronym, I don't play lousy music any longer. Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, Locrian. And so we know the major scale, and then we go to Dorian. And I remember Dorian as the second scale, so you know it's minor, because it's the second in the chord scale, major, minor. And so it's based off the minor, and it's minor with a flat, or there's no flat, it's minor with a major sixth, or a minor key with a raised sixth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we're going to raise it, which is the same sixth of the major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So Dorian you have. And it's kind of like that happy sounding minor key, if you will, because it's a minor key, but it sneaks in a major interval. And then next we have Phrygian, and this is the like Latin, the Middle Eastern sounding one or the Spanish sounding one. And you can think of that as also based on a minor scale with a flat second. So we have 1, 2, and then flat it, and you get a half step right off of the root note, which gives you that heaviness. See, it's just a minor with a flat second. 1, 2, and the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, just like a regular minor. Yeah. And then moving along, we have our first variation of the major scale, which is brain fart, Phrygian, Lydian. Lydian's interesting. So we have our major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we raise the fifth. All it is a major scale with a raised fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to raise the fourth. Which is interesting because it's this major scale, which is usually happy, but it has a tritone off of the root. So it sounds like... It almost has this rush feel to it. It's like, I don't like major keys per se, but this one sounds cool because it has like this progressive vibe because you sneak in that tritone. Sorry, that was totally wrong, but... So that's Lydian. And then Mixolydian, all it is exactly like a major scale, another major scale, but with a minor seventh. So it's a major scale with a minor seventh, or you could say it's a major scale with a flat seventh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Normally it's now it's kind of has this heroic vibe to it. That's like the Friends theme song. Actually, Mixolydian. And then going along, Mixolydian, Aeolian, and then obviously just your standard minor. And then Locrian. Now Locrian's weird because I don't base it off of major or minor. I base it off of Phrygian. So Phrygian is already minor with a flat second, right? Now we also go ahead and flat the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Flat the 5th. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so it's Phrygian with a flatted 5th, or minor with a flatted 2nd and flatted 5th. And Locrian is that diminished vibe. Because you get a tritone, you get all these tritones everywhere. And it never seems to resolve. Because you're one mode away from where it resolves nicely. And yeah, so you just stick around with all those. And one cool thing about learning these scales is you don't necessarily have to apply them. Like, sure, you learn the major scale, and then people just sit there and solo to it by just going. And yeah, especially with minor keys, I like to think of it as you bring in the pentatonic key, which is just 5 notes, but it's actually the pentatonic minor. So if we're going like, that's the 5, like, think of them as like the structuring, the scaffolding of all of the minor based modes, because they all have those 5 notes in them. And then the pentatonic minor scale is just 2 notes away from becoming any of the minor modes. So I'll just demonstrate it with Dorian. Dorian brings out of, it brings in, and so I like to just, you can just be rocking out in the pentatonic scale and then just kind of splice in those Dorian notes. And then you just kind of like really listen while you're playing to get the idea for the character of the different notes that give the mode their distinct sounds. Yeah, so Wieners, I hope that helps.